Hi guys, this is Dom, and on this video I'm going to show you how to create a house bass sound with the FM engine on the Yamaha Montage. Let's get started. So I've been traveling a lot, doing lots of synth seminars, workshops, and the question that keeps coming up all the time is, how do I create a sound with the FMX engine? Is it easy? Is it hard? Let me show you how it works. By the way, shout out to Colin. I met him in Birmingham a couple of weeks ago. He gave me the idea for this video. So thanks, man. Let's do it. First of all, go to category search and go into the initial sounds and select initial normal FMX. That's what you need to get started. That's an initial preset. When you select this, all you have to do is go and edit the sound, which you can do like this. You just press on this icon right here, go edit, and now you are in the edit page of this sound. So how do we get started? The very first thing you have to think about when you try to create a sound from scratch with the FMX engine, with any FM synthesizer for this matter, is that it doesn't work like traditional subtractive synthesis. That's why many people are intimidated and they don't want to go deeper into it. But actually, this form of synthesis is so unpredictable. You can get amazing results, great sounds, cutting-edge sounds that nobody has ever heard before. Today, I'm going to create a very basic sound, but hopefully I can show you the basics of how FM synthesis works. So the very first thing we have to do is decide what algorithm we want to choose. And of course, that's a little bit technical. What is an algorithm? You know, sometimes you don't know where to start. Well, fortunately in the montage, you just press algorithm when you are in the edit page, and then you have all your algorithms right there, and you get a graphic representation of them. Very, very easy. Now, how do you know which one is the right algorithm for the sound you want to create? Well, I would say the very first thing you have to do is kind of imagine what sound you want to create first. So for example, in my case, I want to create like a very typical house bass sound. So what do I need? I need low end because it's a bass sound. I need it to be not too long, not long release, just very fast release actually for this specific sound. And I want it to have attack and maybe some snap, maybe some click noise. So all of a sudden I have three elements there. So what do I need? I need an algorithm that has three elements that interact with each other. So basically three operators that modulate each other. Let's go into the algorithm search, and that's where the montage makes things very, very easy for you. So if you want to have like three operators that interact with each other, you just have to select three, because basically you have three vertical operators. And then if you want like to have, for example, three horizontal, you can just filter them like that. So it will show you straight away. If you want two of them, you can select two of them. So you get the amount of operators that you need. For this sound, I will need three operators vertical. So I'm going to go to three vertical, and maybe I can experiment with different configurations. But I think for this sound, maybe I would need something like, let's see, maybe this one. So that's the algorithm 81. Why did I choose that? Because I have three of them that interact with each other, and I can create those three elements, and I'll show you how to do this. But I also have two more pairs. So I have 453 and 21 that I can use if I want to, enrich the sound or add some more elements to it if I want to. But these will be separate to these three. Let's go and start creating our sound. So I'm going to go to operator number 8. As you can see, we have these three operators like this, so I can move them like that, real time. So here's operator number 8. And then this basically modulates it. This doesn't do anything because unless I turn this up, it's not going to work. So they are in series, if that makes sense. I'm trying to make it easy for you. It doesn't necessarily meet the kind of correct jargon, but I hope it makes it easier to understand FM synthesis. So let's try and get our first. This is going to be my low end. So what I'm going to do is, okay, I like this. Cool. What I want is to lower this operator down one octave. So go to coarse, 0. So I get a nice subby sound. It's like a very nice sine wave. So this will guarantee that I'm going to have this nice low end. But what I should do now is take care of my envelope. So when you go level, you see the envelope for this operator. Let's go like this and see what I can do. The release, it's kind of okay, but I want it to be a bit shorter. So I don't want to go that far, 0, because I can get that click, which is unnatural. A little bit of release. Perfect. My low end is there. I don't have to worry about the low end anymore. Let's try and add the attack portion of the sound. And for this, I'm going to use operator number 7. So let's add a little bit of that operator. And that's the point where people get scared. That's the point where they say, oh, this is too harsh. How can I use this? Just remember, in FM synthesis, the envelopes are your friends. So what you have to do is go to operator number 7, go into the level, and then change the envelope. Basically, remove decay number 2, and that will actually give you reduce decay number 1, and that will give you a little bit of an attack sound, because the attack sound is very short. It's in the very beginning of the sound. So let's try and add a little bit of it now. Okay, I'll do something because that always bugs me. I'm gonna go to the common settings, go to general, and remove the reverb, because immediately it kind of confuses me. Let's go back into our operator number 7. Now I have a nice attack sound, and of course I can completely modify it. So that gives you a clue. I can modify it, which means I can assign it to any of these assignable controllers, which means I can assign it to the super knob. So I can have a sound that's very responsive. Now, another thing that I can do to make the sound a little bit more expressive is add a bit of this level to velocity parameter, because then my sound becomes velocity sensitive. Actually, it's not the sound itself, it's the operator that becomes responsive. And why do I do this only on this operator? The reason is because I want my low end to be always there, to be intact. I don't want this to fluctuate because it's the bass. I don't want to have my low end going up and down in volume. But this one, I can get away with it. So now I can actually add more level because I can be expressive. Now, let's go to operator number 6 and let's do the exact same things. Let's go into my DK2, completely turn it down, DK1, turn it down, and then just open the envelope for DK1. And I'm gonna make this very short. I'll bring it up here. And immediately, I have the click portion of the sound. If you want it, you can keep it or... Perfect. So now what I can do, another great thing with FM synthesis is you can, of course, like with analog synthesizers, you can have the filter chains across the keyboard and you can have scales. The same you can do with the actual FM portion of the montage. So you can go to operator number 7, which of course will determine number 6 as well, you know, because these are connected to each other. So what I can do, I can use these parameters right here, which for some people are a bit of a mystery, but it's not so hard to understand. Basically, what you can do with the level key high and the level key low is that you can say to the FMX engine, okay, when I go higher, please do a minus linear curve. What that means is that if I add a little bit of this, that means that the operator doesn't have the same level like in the low end. When you go higher, you get this kind of smooth, you know, the volume reduces a little bit, so you don't get, let me show you the difference. That's not, it's very harsh. So if I go like this, now I can go. Great. So now Great, now I have my sound, I have it where I want it now. A trick that you can do if you have overmodulated these guys, which in this case I haven't. Now I can just go into operator number 2, which doesn't interact with these two, and add a little bit of low end. Let's go to this. I can always change the frequency. If I've lost a little bit of low end, sometimes it happens when you modulate the operators with each other, then this can be like a good solution to bring back some of the low end. Well, in this case, I don't really need it, so I'm gonna go like... Now, another trick that you can do is also use the pitch envelope to change the attack of the sound. For example, let me be a little bit drastic and go into my operator number 7 and try and change the attack portion of the pitch envelope. So, as you can see, this actually accentuates the attack even more because I give it like a higher kind of frequency to drive into operator number 8, and that gives me even like a harsher attack. Now, of course, if I can, go and experiment. Right, so let's keep it like this. And that's how you can create a basic sound with the FMX engine. It works the same way with pads, with the leads. It's just that the envelopes are different. And of course, don't forget, you can also use different kind of waveforms. So you can go spectral, what spectral type you want. You want sine wave, you want all the spectral waves will give you like a more of a sawtooth kind of sound. So it's great for leads or for pads. But now let's kind of finalize the sound. So now maybe what I want to do is make it very housey. So what I can do is add a little bit of reverb. That's too long. So let's go and change the reverb. Now I have to change the send effect. So that's for the whole performance. So what I need to do is go into my common right here. And as you can see, now I'm in the common page. That's for the entire performance, not for that single sound. Bear in mind, we are still with a single part, like one part, and you can do all this. Imagine if you had more. So if I go like this again, edits, and I'm going to common like this. So let's change the reverb. I go effect, I go to my reverb, and then I'm going to change this from whole to, let's see, maybe R3 room. Let's see how this sounds. That's cool. Let's make it shorter. I want a diffusion, I like it. And maybe I want to completely remove the reverb and just keep the early reflections, or add just a little bit of it. Let's try and, change the sound in real time. So there you go, guys. That's how you create a basic house-based sound with the FMX engine. That was a very, very simple sound, but I hope that you get the basics for the FMX engine and the FM synthesis on the Montage. It's really cleverly thought out, in my opinion. It lets you create amazing sounds. Start with something simple like that. Think what you want to create and basically just experiment. I would really like to hear some of your sounds. If you have any ideas for future videos and you want to see something, I'm trying my best to give you as many videos as I can. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. I'm really, really happy when I meet some of you when I travel in the UK or anywhere in the world. Lots of love. See you on the next one.